Hi, friends. Welcome back to Stepping into Soul Power. I'm your host, Dr. Elizabeth Ssemanda, the intuitive psychiatrist. Today's episode is one you do not want to miss. I'm so excited to introduce this guest. She is amazing. Just amazing. Just amazing. She's had just a fascinating life, transitioning from a medical anthropologist with a PhD from Columbia to a soul-to-soul psychic medium and light worker. And her career has spanned 26 countries and a passion for human rights. She is now helping Lightworkers unite and transform the world. Dr. Michele Andina, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, Elizabeth. It's so wonderful to be here with you. I'm really excited. Wonderful.
Well, Dr. Andina, thank you for being here.
I don't know who Dr. Andina is. Please just call me Michele.
Yeah, I'm going to call you out with her.
It's such a formal title. I have the degree, but, yes.
Okay. Well, Michele, thank you for being here. I'd love for you, for those of you, for those of us who don't know, we'd love to know more about you. Like, how did you get on this path? If you could share your story about how you transitioned and to just from medical anthropology to really stepping into your it sounds like your purpose of bringing light workers together.
Yes. So thank you so much for this opportunity. So, my life has been a long one already. I'm in my 70s. So I started out my first career in the nursing field. At the time when I went to nursing school, Elizabeth, you may not even realize this, but there were 100 people in the nursing school. There was one man and 99 women. And in the medical school, and since you're a psychiatrist, there was one woman and 99 men. So those were the years, in the early 70s, late 60s when I started nursing school. So I became a nurse, and that was my first career. And I quickly realized that that wasn't what I was really interested in. I moved into public health and ended up going back and in the midst of having children and raising a family and doing everything else, getting my degree in medical anthropology from Columbia. And because I speak multiple languages, I have dual citizenship, Swiss and American. I was able to work in about 26 different countries during my career. My area of focus was always maternal child health, women's reproductive health and rights. But of course, that formal career sort of ended up during the AIDS epidemic, and I ended my career working on a very, very large project to prevent the spread of HIV/AIDS in India. So that was sort of one of my only long-term postings, because I always just did more short-term consultancies and working in different countries. And then life progressed. I actually officially retired because the traveling became simply more than I could really deal with. And of course, we had a pandemic also, which made everyone sort of stop and rethink who they were and what they were really going to be doing with their lives. And since I was a child, have always known things that there was no way that I could know them. I've always had a very, very immediate feel about people and just sort of been able to literally see right through people. So I've always known who was someone who I resonated with and who was someone who I sort of knew I need to, stay away. But, especially growing up in the 50s and 60s, wow, people thought I was a little crazy, and they found me very judgmental, which I can understand why they would think that, because I made quick decisions about people and about things, because I really I knew inside of me, what was right and what was wrong. Okay. I had many arguments with teachers, even about things as a child growing up. I've always been quite outspoken. So I finally decided that I was going to see, is this real? Is what I'm thinking? Is this real? Is this really something that I have? Can I channel? Can I do all this? And so I went off to Delphi University, which has an an advanced channeling program. And, there were like 15 of us in the class. It was, really great people in there, and sat down, and they just sort of throw you right in and say, okay, they give you some tools to use, how to do it. And wow, it was all right there. And the person who I was reading for just like immediately started crying because I knew who they were, and it's so strange because I so admire teachers who've stepped into this as adults and learned this as adults. And I've never had to really learn it. It was always there. It was always a gift I had. And I just feel incredibly blessed to have this gift and this ability. It's been just absolutely overwhelming. And of course, took other courses. And that's actually how you and I met. We both were enrolled in what was a year-long mediumship class, with the Shift Network. And, I think you dropped out after about the third week, and I think I stayed a little bit longer, but not much longer, because I realized that particular course wasn't the right class for me. But in that group, we had this small group that formed, right? It was a massive class with lots of people, but there were these small breakout groups of like 15 people. And we had this breakout group, and I'll never forget, because everyone went around and introduced themselves, and I go, okay, I know you, and I know you, and I really know you. I could just tell exactly who were the members of my soul family, who I was finally meeting up with again. Okay. And of course you were one of them. So, even though you left the group, I decided, okay, let's make a little WhatsApp group. Right. And so we created this WhatsApp group, and sort of out of that WhatsApp group, I've just really come to realize how isolated people are. Everyone's sort of alone, and then there are so many people who are in jobs that they really don't like their jobs, and they're just not, they really feel that what they're doing is not resonating with their soul's purpose. And so that sort of became then the basis for, this message that I literally got from Spirit was that, okay, you need to do something to bring people together, give them an opportunity to come together. So that's sort of a long and short of me and how I got to where I am today. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, you brought up so many important points for people who haven't really heard of that term, soul family. Like, what does that mean? Like,
yeah.
Why is that important?
Yeah. So, and everything I say are my beliefs and part of my belief system. There is no written documentation to prove that what I'm saying is true. It's what resonates with me. So a soul family are basically those people who you're going to encounter again, life after life after life. And every one of them is in your life for a purpose. Okay. They're all there to teach you something that you're here to learn, because that's why I believe we've come to this earth school. Okay. If I could just sit out there back in the quantum field and feel that love that is there the whole time, it would be wonderful. But it's not the choice I made at this point in time. I made this choice to come here. So we meet these people. And for me personally, part of my gift is that I literally know when I meet someone. Like the minute I met the person who I ended up marrying, I knew we were going to get married. I knew we were going to have 2 children. I knew it. Okay. I met you, I saw you, and I knew you were going to become a friend. And there were other people there were so many people in that group who I resonated with. It was amazing. So and they soul family members, they can come in for a day, they can come in for a week, they can come in for a month, they can come in for a lifetime. Okay. But they are people who are there to teach you something. And there's a special, special bond that you have with members of your soul family.
Oh, yes.
Like no words are required.
Yeah.
No words are required. You just know. And I mean, that's what happened with us, right? I mean, you just knew there was this connection, so it's magical, very fortunate.
Yes. There is an instant knowing. And, so soul family is incredibly important, on this on our journeys. And I guess I wonder if you could speak a little bit to the term light worker.
Yes,
For people
I'd be
who
happy
don't
to.
know what that means, who's like, is that me? Like, who is
Absolutely.
one? And what do you do?
The team that is in the process, so we have founded this organization. It's called Global Lightworkers United.
Ooh.
And the website is globallightworkersunited.org. And we were just having exactly today, because we're just still in our infancy stages. We're in the process right now as we're recording this podcast of creating our website and everything else. But we were just talking about, who and what is a light worker. And when you go to different references like ChatGPT or Wikipedia or any of those things, and you sort of, a light worker is described as someone who feels a deep sense of purpose, okay, in helping others, in healing, or raising the collective consciousness of the planet. So there are people who really know that, gosh, there's something I'm meant to be doing here, and I don't quite think I'm doing it. I mean, I spent a lot of my life feeling like, oh my goodness, I really need to, there's something big I'm supposed to be doing, and healing the world. And of course, I became a medical anthropologist and realized, oh my God, I can't heal the world. There's no way I can heal the world doing that kind of work. But that's what a light worker, they're believed to be individuals. They have compassion, positivity. They desire to bring light and understanding and love into the world. I mean, that is what our world is about. Our world is about love. It really is about love. And it also, the term light worker then sort of suggests that there is, a kind of intuitive connection to higher energies. And in my book, that basically can just be faith. That can be a faith in knowing that we're not alone here, and knowing that we're all one. We're all the same. Everyone is one. So that doesn't need to be necessarily that you're a medium. You can just have that strong belief in love and unity and the power of bringing people together. Okay. Some of the traits of a light worker, they have a strong desire to serve humanity or the planet. We tend to be sensitive to energies and emotions. I don't know about you, but I'm one of these people who, I cannot be in big crowds because there's just way too much energy around for me. It's just like completely overwhelms me. As you can see, I have enough of my own energy anyhow. So tend to be intuitive and empathetic, and you definitely feel this calling toward your own spiritual growth, and at the same time to helping others to heal emotionally, spiritually, or physically. So that's sort of what a light worker could be. Those are sort of the broad categories. Then if you again further go down like a ChatGPT rabbit hole or anything like that, there's different categories, like grid workers and healers, and there's all these different categories. But I more like to think about the kinds of work that people do. And for me, a light worker can be in any kind of profession. I mean, you can be involved in healing and wellness, mental and emotional and spiritual guidance. You can be doing Reiki. You can be a tarot card reader. You can be a wellness owner. You can own a health spa and still be a light worker. You can be a lawyer and be a light worker. You're a psychiatrist and you're a light worker. Okay. So it's really more that attitude of wanting to take the love and the light that you have within you and taking it and sharing it out with the world.
Oh, so well said. So well said. I just so excited for the possibilities of what this would be, could mean for the world. And I wonder if you could speak about just like an overall mission, what you could envision might be possible because this organization exists.
Absolutely. Well, we've come up with our mission statement and we have a vision and we have all of that already, and they're all, they're big and bold, but I absolutely believe it's all completely possible. So, our mission is actually to empower and unite light workers globally, providing a supportive community to connect, expand their knowledge, evolve professionally, and contribute to the transformation of the world. So by bringing people together, allowing people to connect, by helping them learn more about their own profession, about what they want to do. We're also creating a code of ethics, which is something that we believe is really, really important. If you're going to call yourself a light worker, with that gift comes a responsibility. Okay. And sort of like all doctors take a Hippocratic oath, we will have a kind of an oath for light workers. And so that we're all on the same page. Our intention is clear. It's very important that we all have a shared intention. And we envision a world where light workers are recognized, they're respected and supported in their roles to uplift humanity through healing, knowledge sharing, and professional growth. Okay. We envision a global network of empowered, ethical light workers who work together to positively impact individuals, communities, and the planet. Okay. So pretty big. I mean, we're not thinking little here. So
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thinking big, making big plans. I mean, but this is there's just so much potential here.
There is. There are so many people out there right now, Elizabeth, who are we're all taking deep breaths, right? We're living in a world right now that is really, quite challenging. Irrespective of what's going on here in the United States, that's one thing. But it's global. It's global. Okay. The disparity between the haves and the have-nots, the patriarchal powers that maintain control in so much of the world. Okay. The mindsets that are there that it's really hard to break them down and break through. Everyone is struggling, but I believe, before the light, there's always this little bit of darkness. And within the darkness, all the more reason for those of us who inside know that there's this love, who know that there is this potential that us coming together can make a difference with our light. I mean, one little light is one thing, but you put 10 lights together, all of a sudden you can see. It's so, the power of light is amazing. It's amazing. And that's by bringing us together, by us coming together, by us feeling supported. So often, so many of the people who I've met in this realm, they feel alone. They feel isolated. Okay. They don't have anyone to talk to. I mean, so we met in a mediumship class. And so we created, for example, that little group. That group is meeting once a month. And there's another group out of that mediumship. There were like 5 of us are getting together, and we meet every week and we sit and talk about mediumship things that I have no one else I can talk with about this stuff. I can't talk to most of my friends. They already think that I'm a little bit out on the margins. So, having that, not feeling like you're alone in the world, because no one is alone. We're all so completely connected, but our world today has put us each, behind our computer sitting in our house, right? It's not the same kind of community that there used to be when we didn't have this kind of technology. So bringing people together is just really important, super important.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Bringing people together and staying centered. And I wonder, during these times, challenging times, what has helped you stay centered, and how might our audience do the same?
So, I've been a meditator since in my early 30s. So that's over 40 years now that I'm meditating. For me, my meditation practice is what grounds me every time. No matter how bad things get, every morning I wake up and I do my meditation, and every evening I try to, again, do a meditation. And for me, that moment of silence, of just sitting in silence. I know a lot of people do guided meditations. I learned transcendental meditation years ago. And so that's basically what I'm still doing. And it's just sitting and listening.
Can you speak a little bit to what, because that's a very specific type of meditation. Can you kind of just describe?
So transcendental meditation is basically where you've been given like a mantra, which is this little phrase that you repeat over and over again. I must honestly say, I no longer use that mantra because I can easily drop in to a very, very deep meditation. That's come from years and years of meditating. For me, meditation is really just sitting in silence and listening. Okay. Now you say, oh my God, but my mind never stops. It keeps going. And that's why it's so important to just be in that silence. And so what they teach you to do in transcendental meditation, which for me was the biggest thing in the world, is you think of all those thoughts that you have like bubbles in water, right? And so every bubble needs to come up, needs to just come up, let it float up. And that's all you're doing is letting go, releasing all those thoughts so that you can again find stillness. And you keep finding that stillness in transcendental meditation by just repeating that mantra. So you're constantly focusing on the mantra. But even when you're saying the mantra, there's still this idea that comes up, this idea that comes up, this idea that comes up, right? Until you train your mind, which is basically what I've done now. But it didn't happen overnight. Trust me. It took me years and years and years of regular meditating to be able to just drop in the way I can drop in now. So.
Wow. So a morning practice and an evening practice, and you feel like that is what's keeping you even keel.
I have a lot of energy. I need to stop myself.
Oh,
I need to stop myself, if I can in the evening and just sort of recenter, because otherwise, I have a mind that goes 1,000 miles an hour. And because I am so connected to spirit, I get so much messaging continually circulating through me. So that's why for me, it really is important that twice a day.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, it is a great practice. I 100% agree
but not everyone can do it. It's
right.
not for everyone. It's not for everyone, for a lot of people. What I recommend to everyone to do, and that's the other thing that helps me enormously, is go out and take a walk in nature. Just being out in nature, because even when I have problems or something I'm trying to think through, I can release them into nature, and nature can better absorb it than can my bedroom. I try not to do it in my bedroom because then it all sort of sits in my bedroom. But if you release it out to nature, it really has some place to go. So just walking in nature, that's a meditation practice in itself.
You're absolutely right. Walking meditation, running meditation, sitting meditation, do what works for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So in this, I guess switching gears now, when you think about, you've created this association, this organization, for people who are interested in, who want to be involved, can you speak to the things that they might do to connect, how they might be helpful?
Right. So what we're going to be having, we'll have a very vibrant community platform, which is going to allow people to connect with one another. So for example, there'll be a questionnaire. You'll fill out a questionnaire. You'll say, I'm a medium. I'm a tarot card reader. I channel, I'm interested in mythology, whatever it might be. Okay. And then what you're going to be able to do with that is you're going to be able to meet other people who share the same kind of interests that you have. So, and by meeting them, you then also are going to be able to create a group. Once you've met a few people, you can start to say, I'm going to have a group. Let's meet once a week. Let's meet once a month. And let's just talk about mediumship, or let's talk about mythology, or whatever it is that you're really interested in. You can create a group to talk about it. There's also going to be the opportunity on the website for people to share what kind of classes that you're teaching, what kind of your books that you've written. So it's going to be a way also then for you to share the work you're doing, even to monetize it, because there can be a link. There'll be a link to so that people can buy directly through the website. And so that it's going to also, we want to help and promote light workers. So we would like that all light workers can come to one spot and find out, let's look at all the different people who are working as mediums. Let's look at all the different people who are working as tarot card readers, or let's look at all the Reiki healers. Let's look at all the massage therapists. It's going to be a way for people to find other people. There will also be a membership directory. And the other big thing that we're offering to light workers, which I think is what makes us really unique, because we've been hearing, and when I say we, there's 3 of us who are involved with creating this organization. What we've been hearing from people is how many people are staying in corporate jobs because they're terrified that they can't, create their own light worker kind of business, or that they can't give up the job and all the perks of the job. So one of the things that we're doing is, under Global Lightworkers United, there's going to be the opportunity to sign up for health insurance. There's going to be the opportunity to join a 401k. We're going to be offering all the same perks that corporate America can offer, because we're hoping that we will have large enough numbers. Let's say we have 100,000 light workers who are members. Okay. We have 100,000 light workers who are members. Insurance companies be thrilled to have access to, that many people who are interested in having health plans. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be providing also those kinds of things. And there's also going to be a whole, support system for helping people to start and build a quote unquote spiritual business, so that we're going to give guidance to light workers who are members. How do you start up a business? What are some of the things you need to look at? And because there's going to be this whole network of light workers, there's also going to be a built-in mentorship component there also. So we'll be able to match people who have successful businesses, with groups or individual light workers who are just in the process of starting up their business. We're all in this together. Yes. The more that any one individual succeeds, we all succeed. Okay. And that's part of the premise here, is that we all can support and build and help one another. And in doing that, that will augment the status of light workers. So people won't think we're just a bunch of, hippies running around doing, sage or whatever, or reading cards that they think are completely crazy, but that we actually have a meaningful, intentful purpose in helping to raise the consciousness of the planet. Really important.
Yes, it is. It is. You are really stepping into your power. And so I want to ask you this, for you, what does it mean to step into your soul power?
So I think for me, the most important thing has been that I never really felt I could be 100% me. Mm. Okay. I had a father who was very, very judgmental and didn't believe in any of the gifts that I had. I was also married for almost 30 years to someone who thought I was a total California woo-woo. Okay. And so I was always trying to fit into these roles. And finally now, since I stepped into the fact that I can that I do channel, that I'm a medium, that I have these gifts, that I'm a psychic, I can finally be who I am. And it's so much easier. I must honestly tell you, it is so much easier to be authentically who I am, rather than always trying to fit and play a certain role. So for me, that's been one of the biggest gifts of all. There was actually a name of a movie, but there's a lightness of being. There's literally a lightness of being, because you all of a sudden just being who you are is easy. It's really easy. It's when we're always either buried under all these stories that have been told to us all these years, and we're feeling like we have to sort of live in these stories, or trying to be something that we're not, that is hard. That's a challenge.
It is.
That's a challenge. That's a real challenge. So
it is. Oh, wow, Michele. Well, this has been such a beautiful conversation. I'm sure our listeners are feeling inspired to step into their own soul power,
The name of your show. And I think I personally, so again, these are Michelle beliefs, okay? The way I see it, and I used to be a NICU nurse, so neonatal intensive care unit nurse. So I worked with the tiny, tiny, tiny little babies, okay? And I'm telling you, when an infant comes into this world, they are pure, they are love, and they are light. I don't care how sick they are pure, they are love, and they are light. And you feel that. I could just always feel it when I was working with these tiny little babies. Then life happens, and we put all this stuff, all these ideas and thoughts, and, oh, well, you need to do this, and, oh, you're too big, or you're too small, or you're too light, or you're too dark, or you're too loud, or you're too soft. We get all these messages that pile up on people, which is almost like a bunch of dirt and grime that is sort of covering up the light that is us, because we come into the world pure light. We are pure light. We are pure light. We are pure love. So I always just think, when I start to feel really down and sort of like this, I just think of getting into a shower and just rinsing off all that muck that society and everyone has sort of put on me. I'm not carrying any of it with me anymore. I don't want to carry any of it. And I just want to let the light that is me shine through. And, letting go of those stories, letting go, rinse it off, just shower it off. You shouldn't have to work hard at being who you are either. Okay.
Yes.
Just get rid of the muck. Just throw off those stories, throw off those ideas, rinse them off, get in the shower, rinse them all off. Okay. And then just be who you authentically are. I know it sounds easy. It is relatively easy once you realize it. So.
That's such a great practical tip. It's actually a really great practical tip. I know we're getting a little bit low on time, but
yeah,
for people who want to get in contact, because you have this association, the Global Lightworkers United,
right.
But who might want to work with you?
Oh, yes, happily, for sure. Okay, so there's the website for Global Lightworkers United.org, exactly as it's spelled, okay, is the website. And you can sign up for membership. Membership is very, very reasonably priced at $48.48 a year. Okay. We also have a couple of things I didn't mention, which is we have an emergency fund, because we know that light workers and people get into trouble, and, they have either funeral expenses, or they have to travel somewhere, or they have a medical expense, or something has happened in their lives and they just don't have cash. We'll have an emergency fund for that. We will also have a scholarship fund, because there's a lot of wonderful programs out there, and people just often can't afford to do those training programs. So we'll also have a scholarship fund available. So those are two additional things that we will have with Global Lightworkers. And then for me personally, my website is called Bridging Worlds Spirit and .com. And I do soul to soul readings, and I also do mediumship readings. So that's all the information is right there on the website, and I'd be happy to meet any of you. And I do them. They're all done by Zoom. So, trust me, I can know you as part of my soul family, even on Zoom, because Elizabeth and I have never even met in person, right, Elizabeth?
I know we haven't.
We live on two different, sides of the country. So,
yes.
Yet I know she's my soul sister. So.
Oh, it's always. Well, thank you, Michele, for your uplifting messages. If I am so excited, I really am. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. It's happening. It's happening.
It's happening. We're shooting for 100,000. Okay. We're shooting for 100,000 members. It's a nonprofit. There is no one making a penny off of this. It's all going to be going toward the community, toward supporting the community. So it's very exciting.
Yes. Well, I want to thank you. Thank you so much
Thank you, sweetie. Thank you.
Michele, just for being here today, sharing your insights with us. You are truly, truly, truly an inspiration. And I'm
Thank you.
so excited for what is to come.
Me too. We can change the world. We can transform it. Okay. And that's our sort of our subline too, is Global Lightworkers United, transforming our world together. So
yes. Love it. Love it.
great. Thanks so much. Thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth.
If you haven't heard it yet today, I appreciate you. The soul in me honors the soul in you. If you'd like to see more episodes like this, please subscribe or click here. And friends, if this spoke to you, leave a comment below. We would love to hear from you.